Hi, I'm Chase McKibben from Chasing Bass, and today I'm going to show you how to fish frogs and which frogs are better to use. Today I'm going to start out with the Spro frog. This is a black and yellow Spro frog. It's a really good bait. It really hops out of the water. Like, it gets like a good, like when it's on the water, it gets a good head bob out of it. Like, it'll really give you some good action. But the only problem I have had with it is the fish don't really take it all the way. I mean, they do sometimes, but I can never really get a hook in them on this bait. I have before, but it's tough. You really gotta like wait, and there's certain lines you gotta use for frogs and stuff. And this is a really good color I like to use on the Mississippi when the water's a little bit more dirtier. And yeah, that's a pretty good one. Here's another Spro frog, different color. These are the juniors. I caught a lot of fish on this. I actually got 4th place in state on this exact Spro frog. This one I'm holding in my hand. Like I say, they have a good hop to them. Like, the nose will come out of the water, and they move pretty good through the water. These move the best, more than any frog I've ever used. Just the hook set's been the only problem I've had on them. I know everybody else is different. I mean, I've seen people that have really whacked them on this bait, but it's just, I like to fish fast, and these, as soon as I see the splash, I like to set the hook. But you gotta wait a couple seconds, like 1, 2, and then set the hook. Or another thing I like to go off of is set the hook, and then when I get the hook, you hook them. And then another good frog is the Rage Tail coffee scented frog with these hooks in it, the double hook. These things are really cool. The legs really get to kicking, and they do a good boil sound to them. It'll do like, this sounds like they're more boil sound. It's really good. And another good one is the Stanley Rivet Frog. The Rivet Frog, I like to use these more than the coffee Rage Tail frogs, because these have like a good gurgle in them, and it really calls the fish up. These ones, I've caught a few fish on these ones, but I just seem to have more luck on the Stanley Rivet Frog. So yeah, between these two, I would so much pick the Stanley Rivet Frog, but this is still a good bait, don't get me wrong. Another good frog is this. I've caught quite a bit of fish on this. They're a little bit cheaper than the Spro frog. Yes, they are a lot easier to hook the fish. That's why I like these ones, but they don't move as good. That's the only problem. The Spro frogs move fantastic, look like a real frog. These ones, they just kind of slide across the water, but I seem to be able to hook them better because it's a more soft, rubbery part than the Spro frog. It's a little bit more softer, and you can get down and better hook set. This isn't really a frog. It's just like something that I like to hop across the moss. I've caught quite a few fish on it. A lot of the northern love this. They'll just come up and they'll just freaking drill it. But it gets a little sink action in it. When it sinks, it has a spinning rotation, and it'll sit up on the bottom like this, and then the fish will come get it. But I like to pull it across the moss, and then when I see a hole, let it drop through drop to the bottom, and then reel it back up, and then let it get back on the top of the moss, and then drop it into the holes. Really works pretty good. Another one is it's basically the same thing as this. Same like rubber texture, but it's just a little bit smaller, a little bit more skinnier, and it has the 2 legs on the back like a Spro frog, but still, this does not have as good as action as the Spro frog does. Spro frog by far has the best. This looks like a real frog. It's another one that looks like a real frog. I caught a lot of fish on this. The hooks are starting to rust. I'm gonna need to get a new one, but yeah, this is a really good bait. It has the actual frog legs on it. I've had catfish come up and hit this, but you know, that's not what I'm looking for. But yeah, another really good frog to use is this. This moves just like a Spro frog. But it's way small. You can see the difference in them. This one actually has legs on it, and I've caught a lot of bass on this. The fish will almost take it, and this will be way down their throat because it's so much smaller. They can just inhale this thing. I've caught fish that were, or bass that were 6 inches long on this thing. all sizes of bass like it, but I also have caught a 5-pounder on this thing. And another really good one is this. This is the same thing, has the same legs as this, kicks up, does a really good gurgle just like this, but this has the one that actually floats and this one sinks really slowly. Sometimes this will get them better, and sometimes this one will get it better. But this one kind of just it triggers them really good. This is another that rubbery. This is really soft rubbery stuff, so I get good hook sets in this one. But yeah, that's like the way I fish frogs. I like to have a really good high-speed reel to be able to get the fish. When I set the hook on the fish, I like to get them up on the surface so they can't get you tangled in that cover that you're fishing. And I like to have good 60-pound braid, 50 to 60-pound braid, sometimes 30. 30 is the lightest I'll go, because you need to get them up on the surface and you need to get their head shaken on the surface before they get you down and break your line. Because I've had times where they get off and it breaks your heart, and that could have been the winning fish. But yeah, this is Chase McKim from Chasing Bass. Hope you liked it. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you.